Ba-dum bum bum ba-na. Ba-dum bum bum ba-na. Bum ba-na-dum ba-dum ba-na. Bum ba-na-dum ba-dum ba-na. You're sitting there at home asking yourself, why is this dude live at 5 o'clock for the late night live show, but he's called it the early night live? Well, let me tell you a little bit why. PFL is on in the evening hours, and your boy is going to watch some fights in person in the next hour. So I am going lightning speed, early night, late night live. It's still late night live, just a different name because you know what? The early night live is more fitting to the time of recording. And you know what? If I get home in time, maybe we'll be talking PFL later in the day. But right now, I'm ready to cover this UFC card live, give you guys the chance to, get your voices heard. Get your voices heard. I want to drop the people's heat, the people's love. If you're just tuning in and you don't know why, it's because I'm going out to some fights myself. That's why I'm live so early. And then I'll be potentially live for PFL's main event later. Maybe. No promises. I don't know when these fights end that I'm going to. They could end at midnight. They could end at 9 a.m. or 9 p.m. rather. I don't know. But I wanted to still give you guys the full card breakdown. So that is why I'm live. If people are joining in and asking, somebody in the chat bless them with the answer because I'm not answering it 50 times. But you know what? I want to start this show pretty damn quick. I'm going to throw the poll up for the first fight on the card. All right. We got Cornolle versus Melissa Dixon. My hair looks like a Fire Lions mane. Thank you, bro. I appreciate you, Useless. That's lit. That's a great compliment. Compliment of the hour already. Look at this guy. Look at this savage. Make sure you guys smash the likes. I'll do a Ripski for the people at 50 likes. The late night live number is normally 50. All right, the first poll is up for our opener. Get your voices heard. Make sure you vote in the poll. Drop your opinion in those comments. We got Melissa Mullins and Nora Cornolle. Nobody is all that interested in this fight. And if you are, please speak now or forever hold your peace. I think this is probably one of the more uninteresting fights of 2024. I am going to pick the undefeated Melissa Mullins. She's younger by not a ton, but she has a grappling advantage. Cornolle's career was more based upon striking. At the end of the day, she's got the Muay Thai background. She's okay. I wasn't impressed with the Edwards fight. I thought that Mullins on the other side looked okay, controlling Alexieva. I'm not jumping up and down for this one, okay? We're going to pick Melissa Mullins. I think she probably gets it on the scorecards. It's a women's fight. I'd assume going over. Wouldn't recommend heavy betting on this one. The odds are minus 330 for Dixon, or rather Mullins. Cornolle at plus 270 with an over at minus 245. Melissa Dixon does have decent submissions at plus 500, and her opponent, Cornolle, is more known for the striking. So we're going Melissa Dixon to win. Betting side of it is not that intriguing to me, and I don't think too many of you are intrigued. We got a Melissa Mullins breakout fight, over 2.5 by Useless. I think you're on point with that. I think those are sensible calls for sure. Mullins for the W. I'm not hanging out talking about this fight all day. We're skipping right through. We're going right through. The people are on Mullins. The people are on Mullins. First fight of the night, Mullins in the call. Nah, Beavis, you haven't missed much, my brother. I'm live early because I'm going to fights later. It's old friend of my dad's fighting. They used to train out of his gym. All right. All right. Look at this. We're already a fight in. Mullins to win for me. Mullins to win for the people, please. Let's move on up to the next one. There's no reason for me to sit here and break this one down for any longer. Round 2 start. Yeah, if it doesn't start round 2, I'd be kind of surprised. Next fight on the card. This one's interesting for sure. Middleweights going after it. Up and coming Dylan Budka versus up and coming César Almeida. The big thing lies is we have a 36-year-old César Almeida, and then we have a 24-year-old Dylan Budka. I feel as though Dylan Budka's wrestling is going to be a major factor. César Almeida should be on his back. And I know people will look at his Contender Series fight and they'll say, okay, but he was able to survive that Brazilian who had okay grappling. I don't think that guy had okay grappling. I can see his face, but I can't think of his name. The name of Cesar's last opponent was Lucas Fernando. I wasn't impressed by Fernando. I think he was unathletic, and I think he was mid at best. On the opposite side, Dylan Budka's young guy, but very good wrestling base, physically strong, good pressure style. I got to assume that the wrestler beats the kickboxer here. I don't know how César Almeida's takedowns will hold up. Takedown defense, rather, will hold up. I expect him to be put on his back, and I know Budka's got some decent control from top. I'm going to say Budka to win. I think probably on the judges' scorecards. Being at the UFC Apex, it's a couple steps backwards, and then next thing you know it, Dylan Budka has him against the cage. So we're going with Dylan Budka to win the opener. He gets it done over Cesar Almeida in the debut. A lot of people are really living by, oh, Almeida fought Pereira in kickboxing. It's a different sport. It's a different sport. I don't think it really matters. Budka is minus 145, slight favorite as he should be. Almeida plus 125, the dog. Give me the favorite. Give me the over at minus 170. I do think Budka wins on the judges' scorecards, which is plus 185. Dylan Budka is the call for me. Dylan Budka seems to be the call for the people. Over 1.5 makes a lot of sense, George. Hey, yo, what's up, Too Lit MMA? What's going on? We got the early live today, the early live. Make sure you guys are running the likes up for the early live. Almeida to win, 57% of the people's picks. The poll is all Almeida. Almeida for everyone. Wow. Wow. You guys, I'm telling you, are overhyping the fact that he fought Alex Pereira in kickboxing and won. It's MMA. The takedowns are a factor. Different style, different sport, different game. What's up, Tamo? How you doing, my brother? Let's go. Let's go. Budka, the call for me. Almeida, though, the call for the people. We got some disagreement already. All right. All right. All right. Next fight on the card. Let's go. Sweating bullets right now. Holy shit. Hey, what's up, Seago? Yeah, I'm live early, my brother. I'm going to have a good night. I'm going to watch some fights live. Get your votes in the poll for the next one. Bantamweight's going after it here. We got Dan Argueta and Gene Matsumoto. I'm nervously picking Gene Matsumoto. He's an undefeated Brazilian with a very schooled style, whereas Dan Argueta is a real strong American wrestler. Argueta doesn't have the technical chops in the striking, nor does he have the technical jiu-jitsu knowledge, but he does have great physical strength, and he does have good wrestling offense. I believe that Matsumoto has some potential, and I'm going to ride with the side of the what if as opposed to the level that we know of Dan Argueta. I'm going to ride with the side of Matsumoto. Thank you, Danny. I'm going to enjoy myself for sure, my brother. Loving the early live. Hey, shout out. If you're over in England, you're loving these early lives. If you're in Europe, you're loving it. If you're stateside, maybe not. I think that Matsumoto gets it done by a decision. But you're betting on a Contender Series debuting guy. Argueta is a tricky veteran. And granted, veteran, but he's got less fights. He is a UFC veteran. This is Matsumoto's first fight in the big show. Yes, he's a Contender Series winner, but what does that mean? Matsumoto's minus 155, and then Argueta plus 135 on the opposite front. I do believe we're probably going over at minus 260. I'm just not into the betting side money line. I don't think you're nuts for going with an over in this fight. Matsumoto, he's unproven, even though he's looked pretty technical and I'd say schooled above his years at this point. But is that something you want to throw down on against a tough guy like Dan Argueta? Matsumoto decision is plus 125. I think Gene Matsumoto is getting his hand raised. Matsumoto for the W. You're in Ireland, Ross? Hey, listen, it works out. For my Irish people, it works out beautifully. You think takedowns will make a huge difference in that fight? That's why you're going Budka. Good call, Beavis. I agree. Round 3 start, probably. I think Gene by KO. If Gene KOs him, that'd be an impressive W. I definitely see Gene getting a hard-fought win. I respect Dan Argueta, though. Don't get me wrong. I think Dan Argueta is a tough cat. Matsumoto, the call for me. Matsumoto, the call for the people. Dan Argueta, slight underdog love, though. I mean, he's 41% of the people's picks in the polls. It's really not a terrible line. I'm going to have to turn this fan on, my people. Let me know if it's driving you nuts, but I got to cool down. I got to feel comfortable up in here as I break it down. What's up, Mr. Pip? I got to feel comfortable with the early breakdown. It's hot in Florida, my brothers. All right, I'm going to throw the poll up for our next fight on the card. Women's fight. My day's been very good, Beavis. I've been getting things done on point and on time because I'm going to those fights later. So got to the gym earlier, got the workout done earlier, getting the live stream done earlier. I'm hoping I get home early enough that maybe PFL's still on and I can tune into the main fights, but no promises on that. I don't know what time I'll be home. You can never hear the fan. Lethal Sugar, thank you for that. Good. Good. I'm glad you guys can't hear it, Beavis. Let's go. Run the likes up. We need 50 likes up in here, and I'll do a rip, an early day rip for the people. Hey, next fight is Piera Rodriguez versus Cynthia Calvillo. Nervously picking Calvillo. She's an underdog, but I don't think it's a great bet. I don't think Piera is a great bet on the opposite side. Piera Rodriguez is okay. I'm not overly impressed. She's got decent enough striking, kind of a crouch style, brings pressure. She's kind of strong. She did get dominated by Robertson on the ground. Now, Robertson is a lot better at jiu-jitsu than Calvillo, but Calvillo's wrestling is a big factor. The reason I'm picking Calvillo is if she goes to the wrestling option, I really do believe she can put Piera Rodriguez on her back. I'm going to pick Cynthia Calvillo, even though she's on a 5-fight losing streak. When you look at opposition for Cynthia Calvillo in those losses, it's not that bad. Lost to Lupita Godinez by a split decision, Nina Nunes by a split decision, Andrea Lee, it was a corner stoppage, Jessica Andrade, Caitlin Sermonara. 5 losses against solid enough girls that were definitely more proven than what you see with Piera Rodriguez on the opposite front. Piera Rodriguez is 9-1. She lost to Robertson last time, and she was mounted and dominated. She beat a Sam Hughes, she beat a Kay Hansen, and she won on Contender Series against Valeska Machado. But outside of that, there's no juice. There's no excitement. She's 9-1. Way better record, though, than Calvillo at 9-6. I'm going Calvillo. Better competition. What's up, UFC Casual? Hey, I'm glad you're in the house, my brother. I'm here nice and early for you savages. As far as the odds for this fight, Calvillo is currently a plus 110 underdog, so it's not even that good plus money. Piera's minus 130. Probably goes over 2.5 at minus 350 between the ladies. And then looking at Calvillo by a decision side, plus 190, but probably safest side is an over 2.5 with this ladies fight here. That's what I would say. That's what I will consider. That's my thought process. Rodriguez is the people's pick, though. The people are on Rodriguez. I'm not overly shocked by that, though. That doesn't surprise me. Western Mass Climber as a new profile pick. New profile pick for Western Mass Climber. Look at this guy. Any PFL picks off the top of my head? No. Probably Moldavsky. I don't know. I didn't get down with PFL this week, bro. My timing just didn't work out. It is what it is, bro. UFC is the main priority. You guys always know. You guys will always know that. All right, I'm ready to jump to the next fight. I'm with George over here. He's like, can we move to the damn next one? What the hell are we spending so much time in this ladies fight? You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. All right. Next one is actually a short notice replacement fight, which that's interesting. Very interesting. I can't wait for 300 either. Depressed Raptors fan. It's going to be sick. All right. Poll is up for the next one. And this fight here is short notice Pedro Falco taking on Victor Hugo. Now, if you don't know Pedro Falco, he fought on Contender Series back in 2021 against James Barnes. You know what I'll tell you, bro? I would say take my post-weigh-in recap prediction more seriously than this one, because off the top of my head, bro, I didn't even fucking dig into this guy until right now. I'm not gonna lie to you. You know I'm honest with my people. I didn't even realize this fight was booked until I started the stream. I didn't even realize they found Victor Hugo an opponent. I wasn't even on Twitter earlier today. I don't really care, though, because I'm going to pick Victor Hugo either way. I don't need to know anything about Falco. Yes, his name is sick, but I'm going to go with Victor Hugo to win. And the odds are pretty damn close for Hugo taking on a guy debuting. It's minus 130 for Hugo. Falco at plus 110. Falco's record is 16-3. That's pretty impressive. Beat a 13-8 fighter last time. 14-4 guy on Contenders in James Barnes. 22-10, 15-18, 21-12. I think Hugo can win this thing, especially a short notice Falco. And I got odds being this close. It's almost like you don't even need to dig into it with the mentality. Is Falco ready on short notice? I mean, he's coming over from Brazil. He was scheduled for nothing. He recently fought in November. I'm assuming he stays in shape. We don't know anything about him. I'm going Hugo. Hugo for the W. I think that Hugo probably gets a finish here. She get a submission. You think the replacement's winning? Wow. Wow, okay. You want to wake up at 4 a.m. to go to the gym and Whole Foods by 7? You're a savage, dude. You're an absolute savage. Hugo has a full camp in his favor. Listen, tomorrow I will give you guys the post-weigh-in recap breakdown in more depth, but how the fuck am I not picking Hugo? I'm definitely picking Hugo. We're going Hugo for the W in this one. Everybody in the chat's going to pick Hugo. Falco's got a badass name, though. Badass name. Slight favorite, Hugo, against unproven Falco. Bro, full camp? Come on. Come on. Come on. I know who I'm picking. Hugo. Tomorrow, we'll talk more in depth. So tune into the weigh-in show, and we'll break it down with more depth than ever before. Am I streaming tonight, bro? Am I streaming tomorrow? I'll do a live stream tomorrow. Yeah, sorry I didn't do a live stream yesterday, bro. I got the video out late, and I said, fuck it, I'll just deal with it. If I'm lucky, I'll stream maybe even tonight when I get home, but we'll see around what time. But definitely tomorrow, I'll be doing a post weigh-in stream and obviously the weigh-in recap show. So yes, tomorrow you guys will be able to Q&A it up with your boy. Hugo, a parlay piece. I'll confirm with you tomorrow, my brother. Next fight on the card, we got Norma Dumont versus Germaine de Randamie. I'm going to be picking Germaine de Randamie as an underdog. It really is going to depend upon the factor of this. How far gone is de Randamie since her most recent UFC fight? Has she fallen off since that point? Or does she still got some fight left? Maybe. Maybe not. I'm going to say yes. I'm not overly impressed by Norma Dumont. She has a boxing base, but she's not that impressive with her hands. A lot of time it's pressure grappling, cage grappling and control. de Randamie is good from distance. de Randamie rips some shots up, nice elbows, knees, and punches. I think Germaine de Randamie is on her way to getting a hard-fought win. I think she could even get a knockout win. Her style is a bad matchup for Norma Dumont. She's a lot longer, a lot taller. This is something that Dumont naturally struggles with. Dumont has lost to girls with length. And I think that de Randamie is a tricky test for her. I'm going to pick de Randamie. She is an underdog. I'm going to ride with her side. Looking at the lines, de Randamie at plus 115. The odds have gotten closer. Dumont's at minus 135. At open, de Randamie was all the way up at plus 180. Inside distance, de Randamie is as big as plus 415. Wow. And then over 2.5 is minus 300. I would go money line de Randamie, but I don't think you're crazy for sprinkling an inside distance. We have seen we have seen Dumont get finished, and we've also seen de Randamie finish girls. The striking favors de Randamie. It's just you have to wonder and you have to be worried about how she looks. We'll see on the scales if de Randamie looks like a shell of her former self. We shall find out. We shall find out. But yeah, we're going with the underdog. We're going de Randamie in this one. I got you with a parlay at the end, Sime. All right. All right. Poll is officially shut, and the pick is officially up for the people. They're going with the side of de Randamie. The underdog love is savage. Germaine after the bell KO like she did to Holly years ago. She rocks her after the bell. That's funny as fuck. All right, let's keep running up the card. We got more. We got actually one more prelim. We're doing pretty good with timing, man. This is the express edition of the late night live, but I'm still here with some savagery. UFC casual, loving the fucking emojis. You think Dumont easily wins? I disagree, my brother. I disagree. I do. I respectfully have to disagree with you. We'll see on the scale. Maybe she looks horrible, but I'm picking the side of de Randamie. All right, next fight on the card, we have Court McGee versus Alex Morono. I'm picking Alex Morono, and I am going to call him the lock. I got to pick Morono with high confidence because Court McGee's looked like a shell of his former self. He's nearly 40 years of age. He's hittable. He doesn't have the wrestling to stop Morono. He's at a massive speed disadvantage. I think there's a real chance that Alex Morono drops Court McGee and he knocks him out. I'm going to go Morono by KO as the official call. Now, he is a wide favorite. You see minus 290 there for Alex Morono. He's not a close money line. He's not super playable down the money line unless you're throwing heavy heat at him. But looking at KO win for Morono is plus 165. Also, an under 2.5 is at plus 100. I think Morono is live to get it done inside of the distance. I see Court McGee getting ripped by some big shots. I haven't been liking how he's looked lately. He is on a losing streak, 2 fights in a row, back-to-back KO losses. He's taken on Morono, who didn't have an awful performance against Buckley. You can see a Matt Brown and a Jeremiah Wells knockout loss for McGee. I think time is catching up with him here, and he's taking some damage, especially in the past 2, and Morono's looked pretty damn good. So Alex Morono, lock for me. I think that he's got this shit. I think he's going to pull it off. Confident call. He is probably majority of your guys' locks. Look at that. 88% of the people, 89% on Morono. Morono for the W with high confidence here in the feature prelim of the night. High confidence. I'm closing out the poll. And let's see. You think Morono by whatever he wants? I agree. Morono. I thought it said McGee for a second. Yeah, no. If it was Reese McGee, I'd probably be picking the other side, bro. All right. Boom. There we go. Those are the prelims. We ran through the prelims, I think, in record time, man. Record time. Normally, you guys know I like to rant and rave, but if you don't know, I'm going to fights in a little bit, so I gotta go hyper speed. All right, poll is up for our next fight on the card. Let's fucking go. Next fight on it, we have our featured, no, not a featured, rather our main card opener between Trevor Peek and Charlie Campbell. I'm going with the side of Charlie Campbell to win because he's just technically superior to Trevor Peek. Trevor Peek is a tough SOB. He's a fucking scrap dog. Tough, tough, tough man. When you look at the style, Charlie Campbell from the outside has an advantage. Charlie Campbell has power. Charlie Campbell can jab. I think Trevor Peek is going to be swinging, banging wildly, and I think he's going to get caught up with a lot of straight punches. Campbell has good straight shots. There's a lot of jabs, okay? It's a lot of jabs that can land for him. It's a lot of shots that can follow up. Trevor Peek is kind of predictable as well. And guys with Trevor Peek allow him to dictate pace and bully him. But if you sting him with shots, I think you can do some damage. When Trevor Peek gets bullied back, how's he going to respond? He hasn't fought somebody with the boxing skill set of Charlie Campbell before. And I think ultimately, unless his jaw is absolute steel, he's going to end up getting shinned here. Looking at odds for the fight, Campbell is minus 175. Peek is plus 150. Campbell by KO is actually plus 150 straight down the knockout prop side. But Charlie Campbell is minus 175, the favorite. I do think he's going to win. I understand Peek is a lot of people's confident call. I don't think that Campbell's soup, bro. I don't think Campbell's getting rocked. I think Campbell's winning. Campbell's a tough SOB. I mean, he was fucking dunking up before he got caught by a wide shot. Trevor Peek, he's really strong, wild, and he's a savage, but he's not a one-shot knockout artist. I think Charlie Campbell has more power in his hands, and I think Charlie Campbell's going to do serious damage in this fight. And I do believe Charlie Campbell's going to win this fight. I'm picking Campbell for the win. 50%. We got a 50-50 split. Somebody click something. Listen, guys, we're also at 27 likes. Let's get 50 likes up in here so your boy can do a rip. A nice early rip. Early in the day rip. Hey, what's up, Zohan? Good to see you, my brother. Peek with an 8 Duncan's punch. Campbell, soup chin. Ah, come on. Come on. Dude, Peek is not very good. He's tough. He can scrap. But skill set wise, he should be getting picked apart by somebody like Charlie Campbell. And I'm going to predict that he does get picked apart. That is my pick in this fight. All right, let's keep running. I'm throwing the poll up for the next one. You want a Duncan rematch? It might end up happening. Next fight on the card is Valter Walker versus Łukasz Brzeski. I'm going to be picking the side of Valter Walker to get the win. But I'm going to tell you guys right now, he's a flight risk, okay? He looks flawed. He's a little wild. He's a little crazy. I don't think he's all that technically sound. Now, he's impressive as far as his size, 6'6", 265, long arms, solid takedowns, control. But I'm not crazy about the stand-up, and I'm not crazy about the grappling skill. It's just Łukasz Brzeski is kind of slow-paced at times. He can get bullied and push backwards. I think Valter Walker should get a stoppage win in this fight. I'm going to pick Valter Walker by ground and pound, but I am not touching this line. This is not going to be a parlay piece. I think that a lot of people are maybe considering, fuck, let me get Valter Walker as the parlay. And I get why, right? Because he looks like a menace. And Brzeski's on a losing streak. But we don't know a ton about him. We don't know a ton about him. Walker is minus 225, the favorite. Brzeski is plus 190. Brzeski does look to be in good shape. I feel like it's probably going over 1.5 at minus 180. And then Brzeski to win the fight via KO TKO, or excuse me, Walker KO TKO plus 105. Brzeski by knockouts plus 550. I don't know. This just seems like a weird one. It's the apex. Shit could go sideways. I'm predicting that Valter Walker is going to get the win. I'm hoping it's an impressive fight, but there's a chance that it could be a snooze fest with Walker just holding on from top. He's got the craziness of his brother, but I don't know if he has that same precision and pop. Maybe not. We shall see. The people in the chat are on Valter Walker, as am I. I'm not telling you don't pick Valter. Dustin Stutzfuss got a fight book. That's funny as fuck. My guy, Dustin Stutzfuss. Dustin Stolfas. Who's he fighting? I saw that he has a fight. I don't remember who it's against. All right, let's keep running up the card. Boom. Boom. Taylor Johnson, PFL, plus 425 dog. Hey, Cannabis Connoisseurs is promising a plus 425 dog. Do with that as you will, but there he is. All right, next fight on the card. We got Ignacio Bahamondes versus Christos Giagos. Bahamondes, submission or knockout, inside distance. Bahamondes got a clean advantage in striking length. He's in his prime. Giagos is coming off of a loss to Zellhuber. He's got touched up a bit, but I will say Giagos can still land some heat. He comes out hard with punches. He has decent pot shots. He's not awful. It's just I got to pick Bahamondes with confidence. He really shouldn't lose to Christos Giagos at this point. His win against Trey Ogden's aged pretty well. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the side of Ignacio Bahamondes to win, as the vast majority of us are. He's a minus 320 favorite. Yes, he's a confident call. Giagos is plus 270 as the underdog. Looking at it, Bahamondes to win. KO TKO sits at plus 200. Bahamondes inside distance, minus 150. Bahamondes becomes a parlay piece. I believe so. I believe so. And I do believe he wins. I believe he wins. Hey, Latrell, the member stream was Tuesday, my brother. You missed it, my bro. But we'll see you at the next one. I'm looking forward to it. Bahamondes should be a pretty easy pick. Your boy's going to fights later today. That's why the stream's so early. Bahamondes, the pick there. And let's keep running up. All right. And poll is up. Let's get to our next fight on the card. We got Morgan Charriere versus Chepe Mariscal. I'm picking Chepe in a scrap with a lot of pressure. Charriere's got that advantage from distance. Mariscal is very good and close. Mariscal with pressure is something that's needing in this fight. If he leaves this fight at bay, at distance, he's going to get ripped apart by shots. But I'm going to say that Chepe Mariscal is on his way to winning this fight. I think Chepe Mariscal pulls this one out. I'm going to say a gritty, grimy, dirty decision in competitive fashion. He beats Morgan Charriere in what's a tough scrap. Looking at the odds for this fight here, Charriere is a slight favorite at minus 122. Chepe plus 102. Even Stevens, essentially. Charriere to win by a decision. Mariscal decision plus 200. I don't like it. Over 2.5 probably at minus 200. Mariscal's a live underdog, but he's an ever so slight underdog at this point. So the bet excitement has gone down a lot. You think the machine got it? You got Chepe decision or over 2.5. Chepe is a fucking dog. Chris Weidman versus Sean Strickland. Was that an April Fool's joke? He does not deserve Sean Strickland. Lucky that Michael Bisping's not a UFC matchmaker. Holy shit. Guys, we're at 36 likes. Let's get 50 likes up in here so I can do a rip before our main event of the evening. We're just 14 away. Gustavo Trillo, BYB, minus 190. Probably. I'm about to go watch Gustavo Trillo fight, bro. If you're wondering what event, it's BYB is where I'm going. I'd pick him. I also know that Martin Brown should win against Will Chope. Look at that, 41 likes. We're almost at 50. Look at that savagery. Look at that savagery. I've never seen BYB in person. I've only seen the Bare Knuckle FC in person. So we'll see. I think it's going to be sick. That triangle is something crazy. Main card. We're already at the main card. Look at us. We're making great time in here. I'm going to throw the poll up for the next fight on it. Let's go. Shout out to Jersey Girl in chat. What's up, pretty girl? How you doing? I appreciate the compliment. Hyping me up on stream. Absolute walking W. Oh shit. Over 100 people watching, man. Shout out to you, savages. If you're wondering why the show is early, I'm going to tell you right now. Okay? I'm going to tell you right now why. I'm going to BYB after this, literally right after. So your boys rushing and raving. We'll see what time I get home. Maybe PFL will be on, maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. Hey, I appreciate the XO. Right back. If you guys haven't seen BYB, it's the fucking triangle bare knuckle. It should be sick. I've been to BKFC. I'm excited to see what the difference is with BYB. I'm looking forward to it. So, fuck yeah. All right, let's keep running up the card. Let's keep running. Next fight on it, Alexander Hernandez versus Damon Jackson. WMMA couple. That's lit. That's lit. I agree. Love making AJ blush. It's funny. I'm picking Alexander Hernandez in this fight. I really think he should beat Damon Jackson. Jackson's a tough scrapper. He's got decent wrestling. He's got decent enough game. But like, I think Hernandez should be so much faster, so much better on the feet. It's more well-rounded, a lot more fast twitch of a fighter. I really think Alexander Hernandez is going to win. I'm going to pick Alexander Hernandez to get it done. I think he's going to pull it off. Decision, maybe a knockout. Damon Jackson's scrappy, though. Minus 200 for Hernandez. Jackson plus 170. It's funny the over is at plus money. I'm really not surprised if this thing goes all rounds. Hernandez by decision, plus 300. I think we're going all rounds here. I think so. I'm going with Alexander Hernandez to pick. That's my official call. Hernandez is much more athletic. I think he's a solid call. First round knockout would be something else. I don't know about first round KO, bro. Hernandez, 72% of the people's pick. He's going to be my pick here. All right. Let's go. Let's keep running. We're about to hit the main event. Guys, we need 50 likes before the main event. What are you doing if you're not liking? We're at 48. We're at 48. Did Jackson get hair implants? Yeah, he went to Turkey, bro. He got that hair implant. Hernandez KO prop. Good luck if you're playing it. I'm keeping Hernandez out. I don't know. I just have a weird feeling about this one. I like some other bets more. Hey, what's up, Brandon Carpenter? Hernandez was talking mad shit when he was fighting Cowboy. Mad shit. I owe you guys a rip. Big W. Hell yeah. Big W to you savages. Thank you guys for the support. Especially early. Especially early. earlier than normal stream. But you guys are still out in droves tuning in. All right. One love, baby. We're about to get to the main event. Main event time. Shout out to everybody watching live. Shout out to everybody watching on replay. Make sure you smash the likes, and if you haven't subscribed, because 30,000 subscribers is like 120 away, a little less than that. We're about to hit 30K. I'm very excited for that. I'm picking Brendan Allen. No, I'm joking. I'm picking Chris Curtis. Almost got me there. I almost jinxed myself. I got to knock on wood. 1, 2, 3. I think Chris Curtis can win. Last time they fought, Chris Curtis busted him up. He worked to the body. He struck well up high. Allen, even though he's got decent kickboxing, isn't a power striker. So he's going to have to be prepared for 5 rounds with Chris Curtis, whereas Curtis has more power for sure. And the other factor about Chris Curtis is he's not an easy guy to get to the ground, harder guy to keep on the ground, fast twitch type of fighter, rough stylistic matchup for Brendan Allen. I think that Chris Curtis by KO, TKO again. Allen by decision, Keith, that makes sense if you bet on that side. Goldsov or Vassell, I'm going to root for Vassell, bro. Vassell. You think Allen's improved now? We'll see. We'll see. We'll find out. Who that Brendan Allen has fought has shown to be the level of Chris Curtis, though. At least in the striking and the takedown defense. It's a tricky call. I could see why you're on Brendan Allen. I could see that side. I'm picking Chris Curtis. He is an underdog as far as the pick goes. It's going to be an interesting fight. If Allen can get it to the ground consistently, he'll win. But if he can't, I'm telling you, he's going to get rocked again. And I'm going to pick Chris Curtis to rock him. I'm picking Chris Curtis by knockout for a second time over Brendan Allen. And let's see if Brendan Allen can prove me wrong. I'll take it on the chin if I got to. But I'm planning on delivering a nice fucking overhand. Shout out to Chris Curtis for the W. I'm going with him. I'm going with Chris Curtis to get it done. As far as the odds, Curtis, big dog, plus 180. Brendan Allen, minus 210. Wide lines here. Looking at Curtis by KO is plus 300. Allen decision, plus 375. Interesting. I think those are like the flip sides there. If Allen subs him up, that'd kind of be nuts because Chris Curtis is not an easy guy to get to the floor. You think Allen's getting knocked out? I'm agreeing, bro. I think momentum, take it out of the equation and just look at the fight for what it is. I think Chris Curtis is going to knock him out again. Yes, you can say, oh, but look at Curtis not winning impressively last time. Look at how good Allen has looked. I get that mentality heading into this fight. I just don't think that's the reality. So I'm going to go with Chris Curtis. The people are on Brendan Allen in the main event, which doesn't really shock me. I know you guys are on Brendan Allen. 54%. So there are some believers. There's some Curtis believers out there with me. I'm not the only one. Now, before we close off, we can talk a little bit about parlays. I'm going to drop the People's Safety Parlay, and I'm going to see what you guys are thinking. All right. Let's see. Where are the people? Listen, do you guys agree? Because this is what I'm rocking with, the safety parlay. Bahamondes and Morono. Yes, would be clicking it. Obviously, if you say no, then you don't believe in it. The Randamie is a sick dog. I do think she wins. Pierre, we're going lightning speed today. If you're wondering why, so I'm going to fights, bro. I'm going to fights right after the stream. That's why I'm not live later. That's why I'm not live for PFL. That's why I'm live right now going quick. I'm going to look at these PFL odds real quick. The lines for PFL. I think Moldavsky in the main event. I think Vassell's a live dog. Carmouche will beat Velasquez again. Daniel James could knock out Tyrell Fortune for sure. Dakota Ditcheva. Is Golm fighting Daniel James now? They scrambled. I think James could still knock out Golm. Blagoy's on the card. I don't know if he's going to get it done. Talia Santos should win. Interesting. There's some 50-50 fights, man. Fortunately, I won't be home. If not, I'd be doing a live stream for the full PFL card. But your boy is going live. I'd rather watch some fights ringside. Sometimes I got to mix it up. Sometimes I got to do something fun, man. And that's what I'm going to do. I hope you guys enjoyed this very speedy edition of the Late Night Live. Hopefully you guys aren't disappointed by it, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Thank you guys all for tuning in to the Express early Late Night Live. If I'm home on time, PFL's still on, maybe a live stream for me. If not, content schedule tomorrow will go as such. It's going to be weigh-in recap show, and it's going to be live stream Q&A, chatting it up about, you know, the weigh-ins, UFC 300, pretty much everything in between, man. Pretty much everything. Apologies for the people that want to hang out and chat. I want a Q&A with you. I will soon. There's always tomorrow. If not, it's later today. We shall see. I appreciate everybody. You're all walking W's. Beavis, that's a great idea. Thank you, man. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are tremendous. Big things on the way for the channel. About to hit 30,000 subs. We're not missing a beat. Peace out, everybody. Have a great night. And, hey, enjoy the PFL for me, man. I'll be paying attention to the results while I'm out and about. Don't worry. Peace, guys.